Hi everyone, Animal Girl here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Tuesday, and that means it's Star Wars Day. And this week's episode of The Clone Wars was Wookiee Hunt. Still trapped on the Trandoshans, or one of the Trandoshans' hunting islands, Ahsoka and her new friends are determined to find a way to escape and return to the Jedi Temple. And their efforts gain a significant increase in odds when a new prisoner, a Wookiee, is brought to the island. However, they still face the difficult task of getting to the Trandoshan's flying base and getting a message off the island so they can be rescued. Okay, things I liked about this episode. First off, just like the last episode, since this is the second half of this two-part arc, this episode does focus on Ahsoka. She is the one who takes the lead, and she is also the one that the other members of her group actually do follow in the hopes of escaping. Now, this is due to the fact that as a Padawan, she has a lot more training and experience in the field than they do. Also, it's shown that she does understand the Wookiee language. She can't speak it, as the Wookiee language is extremely difficult for non-Wookiees to speak, although in the movie Solo, A Star Wars Story, we do see Han speaking a few words of it. But she does understand it to a degree. And I did like that. That was an added touch that they really didn't need to put in there, although they kind of had to, because now that I think about it, because they needed the Wookiee to be able to communicate with the others. But they could have very easily had one of the other young Jedi on the island understand what this Wookiee is saying. Secondly, we meet an old friend in this episode, and that old friend is the Wookiee, who is none other than Chewbacca. Now, when I first saw this episode on TV, I had an inkling that Chewbacca was going to be the Wookiee that we were going to see in this episode. I figured it's either going to be him or they're teasing us and it's going to be a completely different Wookiee. But he is the Wookiee that you would think of being in a Star Wars episode, as he is probably the most famous Wookiee in the Star Wars universe. Now, he's not the only Wookiee in the Star Wars universe. We do see a lot more, particularly in the Han Solo trilogy. It's either the third book, or the second book, Hutt's Gambit, or the third book, Rebel Dawn, when Chewie and Han travel to Chewie's home planet, and I know the name of it, I just can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try because I'll more than likely butcher it. And they meet Chewie's tribe. We also see a small group of Wookiees in the pilot episode or pilot movie of Star Wars Rebels. We don't really see them after that, but we do see them in the pilot episode, Spark of the Rebellion Part 2, or the pilot movie Spark of the Rebellion, however you want to watch it. And they do give one of the Wookiees a name, at least one of them. And then, of course, there is Chewbacca's nephew, Lubaka, who is a important character, or a predominant character, in the junior novels, Young Jedi Knights. So, yeah, Chewbacca is not the only Wookiee that we see in the Star Wars franchise. Also, we do see the Wookiees in episode 3. We see Chewbacca in that episode, Revenge of the Sith, or movie Revenge of the Sith, and we do see a whole bunch of other Wookiees as well. But Chewbacca is definitely the most famous. You say Wookiee, and a lot of people are going to think Chewbacca. So I really did like that they brought Chewbacca into the Star Wars Clone Wars TV show, because not only that, it shows just how long Wookiees live. Now, it's stated more how old Chewbacca is in Solo, a Star Wars story, but we'll get more into that when we get to that particular movie. But just so you... Wookiees do live a long time. I don't know their exact lifespan, but I do know Chewbacca was pushing mid-200s in the original trilogy, and I know that from the Solo movie. But again, we'll talk more about that when we get to the Solo movie, and or when I actually do my video on my top favorite Star Wars races. So we'll get more into that later. Lastly, I really liked learning about a new race within the Star Wars universe. Again, I'm talking about the Trandoshans, as we do know a little bit about the Wookiees up to this point. And again, their culture, there are some things about their culture I do not like, such as the hunting, but or the sport hunting, but again, I like that we got to explore another race. Granted, it's a race we're not going to see a lot of. We really only see them in these two episodes. Predominantly, we may see them as background characters in a couple of other episodes. I don't really think they pop up all that much in Rebels. And we do see one in The Empire Strikes Back on a Star Destroyer among the bounty hunters. But we really don't get to explore their culture all that much like we do in these two episodes. So I did like that, despite the fact that I do have some very strong opinions about some of the things within their culture. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. And again, just like in the last video, it was the hunting for sport. I do not like hunting for sport. I have nothing against hunting. People who actually will go out and they will hunt animals or fish for fish and crustacean and whatnot, and they actually will use the meat of the animal for food. I have no problem with if they're using the parts of the animals that they kill for something other than a trophy. I am perfectly fine with that. If they are hunting the animal for meat and whatnot, I'm okay with that. It's the people who hunt them just to put the head on the wall or the antlers on the wall or to make money off of the animal. That's the hunting I have problems with. I do not like that. I feel that if you're going to hunt an animal, you should have a better reason than, oh, I want the animal as a trophy. I feel that a lot of what the hunters in, like, say, Maine do is that they go out, they hunt deer, they'll hunt, like, their allotted number of deer, which I believe is just one, or they'll hunt the number of geese that they're allowed to hunt or ducks that they're allowed to hunt, and they'll take them to a butcher and they'll have them carved up for food, and then that will supplement their food throughout the winter, which in a sense actually will bring the grocery bill down a little bit, because I work in a grocery store, and trust me, what really bumps up your grocery bill is the alcohol and the meat. Those are are probably the two most expensive items on the grocery bill, just in and of themselves. Like, one thing of chuck roast can be as much as $25, depending on how much it weighs. So if you're able to go out hunting and get, like, a goose or a duck or a deer and use that meat to supplement your, to add to your, freezer and to eat throughout the winter, that's going to bring your grocery bill down quite a bit, which is, I believe, what they do in Maine a lot. They'll do the hunting helps to bring the grocery bill down a little bit in the winter, because they're supplying the meat themselves, which is one of the more expensive items on the grocery bill. And then, they're just buying, all the other stuff, the canned goods and the box goods and the milk and the cheese and the dairy and all that. So hunting like that, I have absolutely no problem with. It is the hunting we see in this episode, the sport hunting, that where they're really just out there looking for a trophy, that I do have issue with. And that's it. That's my little rant on hunting for sport. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, question of the week. This is actually the second episode in which we actually see a Jedi character understanding what a species that is not theirs is saying in that species' own language. The second time was during the season 1, I believe, episode, Innocence of Ryloth, where we see Obi-Wan speaking to Numa in the Ryloth language and also translating what she's saying to the clones. Now, we've also, as well as seeing Anakin in the movie Star Wars: The Clone Wars, understanding what Jabba was saying in his palace. Although the last one we can chalk up to the fact that Anakin did grow up on Tatooine and would have picked up the Hutt language just naturally, since that did seem to be the dominant language that was spoken there after basic. So my question to you guys is, do you think that the Force actually helps the Jedi understand what these other races are saying in their own language? Or do you think that's actually something they learn at the temple along with meditation and lightsaber skills? Please leave your answers in the comment section. Also, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. And please like and share this video. And feel free to follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and DeviantArt. I do have my name for those 5 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note, all pictures seen within this video belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing. And also, please feel free to like and share this video if you're watching it on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube. I'm sorry, that's where I got a little confused on the follow thing. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my related Star Wars videos. My other TV talk videos on Star Wars. my other TV Talk videos, and my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, one thing I'd like to touch on, and that is to please note that there will be dual postings for 3 of my TV Talk videos. Star Wars, obviously, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and DreamWorks Dragons will be posted both to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. All my other TV Talk videos will at this point in time be posted only to my Facebook page. So if you'd like to check out any of those videos or the backlogged videos of Star Wars, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and or DreamWorks Dragons, you can feel free to check them out on my Facebook page. I will have the link in the description section. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.